welcome back to another video. My name's Krashy, and of course, again, talking about some Gears of War. And yeah, so as you can see by the title, whatever I make it, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Coalition and their communication. Now, I've pretty much already stated most of the issues I had, or the majority of the issues I have with the game, with how the game is being developed, the business model of the game. But one thing that's also super important is developer to community or developer to consumer communication. And that's definitely a topic that I didn't necessarily know I was going to make a video for, but I was just thinking about it, and it's something that is more recently nagging to me. You know, I'm definitely continually upset and frustrated with all the broken things and lack of fixes and the ridiculous pricing and things that are going on in the game already, but we haven't really talked about their communication or lack thereof. So I kind of just want to explain what I would like to see them do. You know, I don't want to just rip on them too hard in this video, but definitely think that there's a lot to be improved on, and you know, they definitely leave a lot to be desired. So communication, what does that mean? I mean, basically you have to know that a developer team or a development team or studio is broken into many different teams within the studio. There are lots of different roles. So to be very clear, whenever I'm getting frustrated about like how much crates and stuff they're making, obviously those people who make those crates and make that content is not the same team of people who would be working on, say, ranked fixes or, you know, fixes to the matchmaking and things like that. So I get that. But I think overall it's important to know that a development studio does have things in their pipeline. They have a queue, they have a priority list, and they go through them the best they can. You know, they send it off to their QA team who tests it, they work on it some more, you know, the pipeline gets shifted around, and ultimately that's how you lead up to your, you know, your back-end updates if they can do them, or, you know, they hold off and try to launch a nice sized title update. So we've had 2 title updates so far. Nothing really significant has made it in, or nothing significant enough that I can even remember has really made it into the game yet, and we're a few months out from launch, and ultimately we just really hear nothing from the developers. I mean, they don't post blogs, they kind of let us know occasionally here on Twitter, or maybe like in a forum post, you know, buried on their website, that, you know, yeah, they hear our concerns, or like, yeah, they're working on something, but we don't really hear anything. Like, I can't tell you definitively that I know anything that I have concerns about that are actually going to get fixed. We hear nothing. In fact, today with Joe Vaughn, former coach of Echo Fox and kind of like content writer, was talking with Node Zero, the lead multiplayer developer, and in the middle of their little conversation, Node Zero just stopped replying. I mean, we literally hear nothing. They don't talk to us. They don't tell us what's coming out. They don't tell us what they're working on. And I understand it can be tricky because, you know, you give ETAs, you give dates on things, and, you know, things happen. It gets pushed back. The development runs into bugs, or they run into, you know, things that have to work in a different way because it, or ultimately, you know, reworking an entire ranking system. I understand that could take some development. But to feel like they say nothing, and to feel like we feel like our thoughts and our concerns aren't being heard at all, is very crippling to their reputation. It's very crippling to their game, and it's very disheartening in terms of how we feel about them and this game and this product going forward. I mean, we have, you know, community managers that I feel like either they have no information or they share no information, and ultimately we hear nothing. The Coalition doesn't post anything except for their prices and their deals and more things that you can pay for, and ultimately it's just a very discouraging process to be a part of on this end of things. You know, we voice our concerns, we tell them what we're really looking for, what we'd love to see, how passionate we are about it, because we want to spend more time on it, because we want to have the incentives, we want to reap the rewards, we want to be a part of an amazing rank system that shows us where we land and gives us a reason to really just sit down and play their game over any other game. And ultimately we don't get that. We don't get any kind of light at the end of the tunnel. Nothing about, hey, we're really working hard on, you know, ranked 2.0, or, you know, we're really working hard on getting a way to add elo into the game and really fine-tuning the matchmaking. We just hear nothing. I mean, I really don't think we ever get anything concrete, minus a tweet here and there. Even if you go on Reddit, like, when people say like, oh, the coalition heard this or that, it's usually like one of the community managers' tweet to someone, and it's a link to their tweet. I mean, there's never anything really official. The only official posts we ever get are the dates that the crates are going to be out and how much they're going to cost. So it's just, like I said, it's a really frustrating situation to be a part of, especially when you're such a diehard fan. I mean, like, some of us have been playing this game for a decade. I can't even imagine what it's like being a new fan. I mean, ultimately, you're coming into a game experience. You're probably coming from another game, and a lot of other games have really, really good dev teams, and some not so much, but I feel like they at least have some level of communication, where the coalition is very, very lacking in that department. So hopefully we can get some changes. Like I said, some things I do want to see them do. I'd love for them to keep up like a weekly or bi-weekly blog. I'd love for them to do developer videos, very similar to how the Overwatch dev team or Blizzard does, where they post content that's coming up, or they post, a video talking about some of the things they have, or even more so, state of the game streams like The Division, where I don't know their dev team name, so sorry, where the Division dev team sits down, like on a couch, and just sits there and talks about what they have coming on, what they know is a problem. I mean, they really just sit there and can interact with the community, interact with the fan base and the consumers, and let them know that they're being heard, at very least, because that feels good, even if it's going to take months, even if it's going to take, a long time. But ultimately, I want more communication from them. I want to feel better about being a fan, and right now we don't really get much of that. So I'd love to hear your thoughts below. I appreciate you hanging out for this video. Please do not leave without leaving a like, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Thanks.